Good morning, students. Now we are going to study about atoms and molecules. And already in the previous class that we have learned about modern atomic theory. In the modern atomic theory, there are seven postulates were given after correcting the wrong ideas from the previous theories. The first point, an atom is no longer indivisible. No longer indivisible means an atom is divisible one because of the discovery of proton, electron and neutron. Atom is considered as a divisible one. And second point, isotopes. Isotopes are nothing but atoms of same element with the same atomic number but different mass number. Let us learn, for example, take chlorine. Chlorine atoms of same element, the same atomic number of 17, and mass number only differ 35 and 37. The difference because of the difference in the number of neutrons present in the nucleus of chlorine atom. The next one, isobar. Isobar is the third point. This is also nothing but atoms of different element. For example, take argon and calcium. These are the two different elements having different atomic number. Atomic number of argon is 18, atomic number of calcium is 20, and their mass numbers are same, 40. Their mass numbers are same. So atoms of different element having same mass number and different atomic number is termed as isobar. Third point, artificial transmutation. Artificial transmutation. This is nothing but changing one atom of element to the another atom of element. It is called artificial transmutation. The next point, an atom may not always combine in simple ratio. May not always in simple ratio. Maybe some of the compounds may have a simple ratio of a combination of elements. For example, take glucose C6H12O6. In this there are three different kinds of atoms are here: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and their combination of atomic ratio is 6, 12, 6, and simple ratio 1:2:1. So this is simple ratio, but this is not possible for all the compounds. And next point, that is smallest particle. Atom is smallest particle which take part in a chemical reaction. And next, see, the mass of an atom can be converted into its energy. E is equal to mc squared formula. This is also called Einstein equation. Is the energy, that is m is referred as the mass of an atom. C is the velocity of light. And these are the some of the points that you have to learn for this modern atomic theory. These are the seven postulates in the modern atomic theory. Also, you have learned already about the atom and molecule and the difference between atoms and molecule. What are the differences between atoms and molecule? Atom is the simplest particle. Molecule also simplest particle. Atom is simplest particle of an element. Molecule is simplest particle of element or compound. An atom does not exist in free state, but molecule exists in free state. And atom of the sum of the element may be in exist in the atomic state. For example, helium, neon, argon. But molecules always in the form of combined state. And atom does not having any chemical bond, but molecules have chemical bond. So now in this section we are going to study about atom and its atomic mass. Atom and atomic mass. Atom already an atom is a very tiny particle, very smallest particle that can take part in chemical reaction, and all the matter consists of atoms. That's why matter is composed of atom, and the atoms are building blocks of matter. Atoms are building blocks of matter. Maybe any kind of matter, maybe solid or liquid or gaseous matter, but all the matters are going to be composed of atoms and molecule. And what is the reason for the mass of matter? What is the reason? Matter already have learned the previous classes, 7th standard, 6th standard and the 8th standard. Matter is nothing but any substance or anything that has mass and occupies space, that is called matter. Matter is nothing but any substance or anything that has mass and occupy space. So what is the reason for the mass of the matter? What is in the matter? Matter consists only atoms and molecules. So atoms only going to give mass to the matter. So atom is the basic element, basic particle present in the matter, which possesses mass, which is going to give mass to the matter. So mass of the matter is due to the presence of atoms, and atom consists of proton, electron, neutron, that you have already learned. Out of this proton, electron and neutron, proton and neutron possess some considerable mass. Proton and neutron possess considerable mass, and the electron, which is it's not having a considerable mass, it is a negligible one, negligible mass. So these proton and neutrons are present in the nucleus of an atom. To take a structure of an atom, in the atom there is a concentrated core which is called nucleus. Concentrated core. Then out of this concentrated core there are circular orbits. These circular orbits only consist electrons. So electrons going to revolve around these circular definite orbits, and the center core is called nucleus. This is called nucleus. So the nucleus only consists of proton and neutron. The nucleus consists of proton and neutron. Out of these three particles, these are the fundamental particles of an atom: proton, electron and neutron. And the proton and neutron, these two particles are present in the nucleus of an atom. That's why it's also called nucleons. We can also refer to this as nucleons. Nucleons are nothing but the sum of the particles present in the nucleus of an atom, that is nothing but proton and neutron. So these proton and neutron only possess some considerable mass. So the nucleus is a massive part of an atom. The nucleus is a massive part of an atom compared to the electron. Electron revolve around the nucleus. Of an atom, and these electrons possess only very negligible, not a considerable mass. That's why matter possesses mass due to the presence of atom, and mainly due to the mass supplied by the proton and neutron. These are also called nucleons. And modern atomic theory already referred as atom is no longer indivisible because of the presence of these subatomic particles, proton, electron and neutron. And the electron not having mass is a negligible one. So we are going to consider the massive part is nucleus, which is mainly the presence of proton and neutron. So from this only we can write what is called mass number. Atomic number is nothing but that already have learned in the previous classes, atomic number is atomic number. Atomic number is referred in the using the English alphabet Z. The letter Z is used to measure, used to represent the atomic number, and the atomic number is nothing but the that is the number of protons in the nucleus. Number of proton in the nucleus. Also we can say the number of electron around the nucleus. So atomic number is nothing but the total number of proton present in the nucleus of an atom, also which is equal to the total number of electron revolved around the nucleus of an atom. Because these two numbers are always equal to one another, that's why atom is electrically neutral. Already have learned in the previous classes. Atom is electrically neutral because of the presence of same number of proton and electron. Same number of proton and electron, they are having same number but opposite in the charges. Proton is positive in charge, electron is negative in charge. These two charges are going to be neutral one another, and the ultimate charge of the atom is neutral. And what is called a mass number? Mass number is nothing but that is the sum of mass number. Mass number can be represented using the letter E. Atomic number is Z, mass number E, and mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons in the nucleus of an atom. So the sum of proton and neutron. So mass of the atom is completely based on the presence or completely based on the mass of the proton and the neutron. So that's why matter possesses mass. Any matter possesses mass because of the atom and even because of the proton and the neutron. And I will say, for example, macroscopic material. Macroscopic material means large material or big material compared to the more than the atom. For example, a stone or any liquid, 1 liter of milk. So those are going to have a mass and occupy space. How will you going to measure? They can be measured using the unit of gram. You can say gram, 5 gram, 10 gram or 100 gram, 20 gram. Also we can measure using kilogram. And there are higher quantities also there to measure. So simply we measure gram, kilogram like that. But we cannot measure the mass of an atom using this type of macroscopic unit like gram and kilogram, because it's going to have very, very negligible in mass. We are going to use different quantities to measure the mass of an atom, that we can refer as atomic mass unit, AMU. It is nothing but atomic mass unit. So what is the definition for atomic mass unit? What is the definition for atomic? There is a simple definition is given. Sometimes it will be asked in 2 mark question. What is called atomic mass unit? Atomic mass unit. We are going to take a standard mass of an element, carbon-12 atom. Carbon is the isotopic element. The carbon-12 mass of one carbon-12 atom is taken as a standard one. Comparing to the mass of any other element to the mass of carbon-12 atom, we are going to define the atomic mass of unit. So we can write atomic mass unit is nothing but that is 1 by 12th of the 1 by 12th of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. 1 by 12th of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. This also you have tried in the form of definition. Atomic mass unit is nothing but that is the 1 by 12th of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. This is the atomic mass unit. And next we can go to the another topic, that is relative atomic mass. This is atomic mass. What is called a relative atomic mass? Relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass. RAM. RAM. You can write in short form, that is RAM, relative atomic mass. So relative, the term itself, you have to understand from this term, relative means related to the some other standard quantity. We cannot measure simply by taking one atom of element. We cannot say this is the mass, and we are going to compare. We are going to compare to the standard mass of an element. In those days, hydrogen is used. Initially, hydrogen is used as a standard element. Then oxygen is used after some times. Now we are using carbon. Hydrogen possesses isotopes of 3. It is 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. This is hydrogen is isotopic element. There are 3 isotopes of hydrogen. That is atomic numbers are same. Atomic number 1, 1 for all the 3 hydrogen atom, but mass number differ. That's why the isotopes are nothing but atoms of a same element, same atomic number, but different mass number. And this difference is because of the different number in the number of neutron present in the nucleus of hydrogen atom. Thus, there are names for this. This is called protium. This is called deuterium and tritium. And this hydrogen is used as a standard element to measure the relative atomic mass of any other element. And after some time, oxygen also used. Now we are using carbon as a standard element to measure the relative atomic mass. So I will be going to write definition. There is also definition for relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass of an element is nothing but average mass of the isotope of an element and 1 by 12th of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. 1 carbon 12 atom. This is the definition for a relative atomic mass. That is, this is a ratio, because we are going to compare unknown mass to the known mass. The known mass is carbon 12 atom. Unknown mass, any other element we can take. We are going to compare what is the mass of the taken element to the standard element. So average mass, it is the ratio between average mass of the isotope of an element to the 1 by 12th mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. That is called a relative atomic mass. This also you can write in the form of definition. Relative atomic mass is nothing but that is the ratio between the average mass of the isotope of an element to the 1 by 12th of the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. The same derivation can be modified in the form of definition. And also we can write the relative atomic mass, we can refer as AR. Is nothing but relative atomic mass related to the mass of standard element. It is called the relative atomic mass. See, and the modern method, there is a mass spectrometry. Mass spectrum. This is a method of measuring the relative atomic mass. Mass spectrometry is nothing but this is one of the method of measuring the relative atomic mass of unknown element using carbon 12 atom. The mass spectrometry uses carbon 12 atom. This is the standard mass, carbon 12 atom, that is taken and that is used in the mass spectrometry method to measure the relative atomic mass of any other element. And also say next what is called gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass. Actually there is no unit for atomic because it is related to some other element. It is simply a number. Atomic mass is simply a number. It is simply a ratio. Atomic mass is simply a ratio. There is no unit for atomic mass. But for calculation purpose, we are using the unit gram. So we can say it is gram atomic mass. If you are going to measure or if you use the unit of gram, it is called as a gram atomic mass. Otherwise, it is called simply a simple ratio. There is no unit for atomic mass. There is no unit for atomic mass. When you are going to express atomic mass in terms of gram, when you are going to express atomic mass in terms of gram, that is called the gram atomic mass. For example, the atomic mass of, atomic mass of hydrogen. Atomic mass of hydrogen 1. Atomic mass of hydrogen 1. So there is no unit for atomic mass. It is simply a number, simply a ratio, and there is no unit. And if you are going to express it in terms of gram, you are going to express, you say 1 gram, that is called gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass. Sulfur atomic mass of sulfur 32. So there is no unit for atomic mass of sulfur, simply it is a 32 number. But if you express in terms of gram, that is 32 gram. 32 gram. Simply atomic mass of nitrogen 14, there is no unit. If you express in terms of gram, it is called gram atomic mass, that is 14 gram. 14 gram. So there is no unit for atomic mass, it is simply a ratio. But if you express in terms of gram, that is called the gram atomic mass. Will be asked in 1 mark question or 2 mark question, what is the gram atomic mass? Similarly for gram molecular mass also, if you express the atomic mass in terms of gram, that is called the gram atomic mass. Next see, another one topic, I will be going to calculate the average atomic mass of an element. Average atomic mass of an element. Average atomic mass. It is AAM. Average atomic mass. Average atomic mass. So normally see, the naturally occurring elements possess mixture of isotopes. Natural elements in the form of mixture of isotopes. Mixture of isotopes. They are going to be in the form of mixture of isotopic form. So we cannot say simply it's going to have only one particle or one portion, so we can say that it's atomic mass directly. So we cannot directly measure the atomic mass, so we have to find out the average atomic mass of those mixture of isotopes, then only we can say the AAM. So what is the definition? There is a definition for average atomic mass, that is nothing but the average atomic mass, the average atomic mass of an element, the average atomic mass of an element is the weighted average of the masses of its naturally occurring isotopes. Naturally occurring isotopes. So this is the definition for average atomic mass. That is nothing but the average atomic mass of an element is the weighted average mass of its isotope. You can keep in your mind a simple form. That is nothing but the definition says the weighted average mass of isotope. The weighted average mass of isotope. That is referred as average atomic mass. So this average you have to calculate to find out the atomic mass of these isotopic elements. And all the elements having isotopic form are going to be taken this type of calculation. There is a calculation method how to calculate average atomic mass is equal to mass of first isotope into percentage of abundance. Then mass of second isotope into percentage of abundance. Abundance means the naturally occurring, how abundantly occur, how much obtained in the nature is the abundance of occurrence, and the mass of the isotope is multiplied by its abundance. Also, the second isotope or third isotope, or maybe 2-3 isotope. For example, iron is going to have 3 isotopes. So here only 2 is given. Mass of first isotope into its abundance, naturally occurring abundance, and mass of second isotope into the percentage of abundance of its natural isotope. And the sum of these two going to give average atomic mass of any element. So we can do simple calculation by taking this simple formula. Average atomic mass, nothing but mass of first isotope into its abundance plus mass of second isotope into its abundance. This is simple formula to calculate average atomic mass of isotopic elements. You can take one example. Suppose an element having 2 isotopic form, and an element is an example. An element exists as a mixture. An element exists as a mixture of 50% of an isotope, 50% isotope having a mass of 9 am atomic mass units, and 50% of an isotope having a mass of 10 atomic mass units. Calculate the average atomic mass. calculate the average atomic mass. This simple sum. An element exists as a mixture of 50% isotope having 9, the first isotopic form of element having 50% of abundance with a 9 atomic mass in it. Second isotopic form of element, the same 50% of abundance with a 10 atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit only differ. So using this simple formula, you can calculate the average atomic mass of this isotopic element. So you have to calculate using this simple form. So average atomic mass unit of the given element, that is the mass of the first isotope. This is mass of the first isotope, that is 9. 9 is the atomic mass unit into its abundance, that is 50% out of 100. 50% out of 100. We close the bracket. Now plus the second mass of second isotope, that is a 10 atomic mass unit into its abundance 50. Abundance 50. The first element having 9 atomic mass unit, its abundance is 50 out of 100. Second is 10 and its abundance is 50.